I would hate to start with this question, but how has grief been for you?
That is how grief has been for me. I lost my dad in 2021. And not only my dad, I lost 3 family members within a span of 1 month. And the festive season especially is a period that emphasizes grief because, to me, 3 major things. Number 1, you realize that you have lost the past. The Christmas will never be the same again. The New Year's will never be the same again. The second one is because you have also grieving the present, because that person you loved is not here at the moment. And the third is that you're also grieving the future. During the holiday season is when I realized that these people will not be there in future holidays, and it hits harder than normal days. So grief for me has been one of those journeys that until you walk the path, you will never understand.
Welcome back to Rare View Podcast. Now, as the name suggests, we always have the rare views on everything going on around our lives. And today, as your host, Rachel Anita, I want to really go in there. If you're like me, Christmas and New Year's, the whole festive period is not as merry as we would love it to be. Imagine this. It's 2019. You're thriving. You're almost married. You're hanging out with your grandparents, your parents, your sisters, your everyone. And in just a year, most of those people are gone. Sadly, this is my story. Well, not just a year. It took about 4 years, but the math is not mathing the way I want it to math. So with me here today is Christine Mugo. We are trying to talk about grief during the holiday season and how heavy this can be. And who better to talk? I hate using this as an example, but who better to talk about this than someone who has walked that path and understands how grief can be heavy during this period. I would advise to have your tissues close by because this is one of those episodes. Karibu, Christine.
Thank you, Anita.
I would hate to start with this question, but how has grief been for you?
That is how grief has been for me. I lost my dad in 2021. And not only my dad, I lost 3 family members within a span of 1 month. And the festive season especially is a period that emphasizes grief because, to me, 3 major things. Number 1, you realize that you have lost the past. The Christmas will never be the same again. The New Year's will never be the same again. The second one is because you have also grieving the present, because that person you loved is not here at the moment. And the third is that you're also grieving the future. During the holiday season is when I realized that these people will not be there in future holidays, and it hits harder than normal days. So grief for me has been one of those journeys that until you walk the path, you will never understand.
That is so true. And it's different for everyone.
True.
Like someone else might have lost the same people, but it's not the same feeling. I would say even for, let's say, your sibling, it's not the same feeling.
The most weird thing about grief is that you may lose the same person, but you grieve differently.
Yeah.
I lost my dad. He was my dad to me.
Yeah.
He was my dad to my brother. However, our grief journey is very different. And it's normally good to appreciate that there is no right or wrong way to grieve, and people grieve differently.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in the African society, or generally the human race, grief is something that we don't talk about. Because for me, for example, I got to realize that no one has ever spoken to me about grief until the day I lost my family members. No one had told me things to say, things not to say. And I realized I had been a horrible friend to people who were grieving. Because I used to say the things that when they were said to me,
It doesn't make sense.
it doesn't make sense.
They're in a better place.
I mean, which better place? You should. I love you. You love me. Which other better place than here with me? I mean, it is well. With who? With who? I mean, my father has gone. How can it be well? The platitudes annoy.
They really do.
Someone will tell you it was their time. I know. Who told you?
Who told you?
When is my time? When is your time? I mean, who knows? Who decided it's their time? Who decided that my father should leave me when my children are young and he has not seen them graduate? Who makes those decisions?
And there's another one. At least he got to see your children. At least he got to see you grow. And oh God, already. At least. I didn't hear that statement. At least. Okay, so what's the metric?
And I don't blame people who say those things. I realize that no one teaches us these things. Until I experienced grief, I did not know what to do. I didn't know that it's okay to sit down with Anita and let her be silent.
Yeah.
People always imagine that you have to say something to a grieving person.
Yeah.
But sometimes you really don't have to say anything. You just need to come sit with me.
And just...
If I need to talk, I will talk. The other thing that I think people don't understand is that it's not wrong to ask me about my loved one.
They act like they didn't even exist before.
Thank you. Everyone assumes that if I ask you, tell me about your mom, it's something triggering.
Yeah.
But from my own experience,
would be like, your dad would be like,
sorry, exactly.
Why would you say that?
I love talking about my dad.
Yeah.
I love hearing people tell me about my dad. My dad was a teacher. And I have the fortunate opportunity to meet so many of his students. And every time they tell me what kind of a teacher he was, I am so happy.
Yeah.
Or someone asks me, tell me about your dad. I love talking about my dad. Tell me about your grandmother. Tell me about your mother-in-law. That woman loved me like no one has ever loved me. You know, I enjoy talking about them. So don't feel bad to ask me about my father. It makes me remember them in a very fond way.
Yeah.
But again, who taught us?
No one taught us. And I think like the older we get, the more we have grace towards people. Because for me, when I lost my mom is when I actually understood. Like I sat down, and asked myself, ule mtoto alizaliwa bila mama. Or that person who just, like you see people in a different light. And it's so heartbreaking that you did not see them in that light before.
Exactly. Grief changes you.
Yeah.
And I it's good to appreciate that it makes you even a better person.
Yeah, it does.
Because imagine the empathy you have on this person who was born without a mother.
Yeah.
Now, because you have experienced that, yet when you look back, there's so many years that you took it for granted.
Yeah, we do.
Grief teaches you so many things.
I'm triggered when someone is like, that's just my mom. Or, I'm like, what do you mean? Your mom is calling you. Can you pick up that phone and explain?
Sorry.
No, it's all right. Because people actually do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, what do you mean? It's just, do you know this could be the last time that person is calling you?
No one understands that.
No one understands.
Grief is one thing that I don't think can be taught. You experience it, and it's unfortunate that we get to learn the depths of grief when you are actually experiencing it.
Depth of grief.
Yeah.
Christmas in particular heightens grief. I don't know about you. I don't know, how was your first Christmas without your dad?
My first of everything was hard. Not just the first Christmas. My dad died in March. And between March and Christmas, there was my daughter's birthday, my own birthday, my mother's birthday, my brother's birthday. There was the first birthday without him. There was the first event without him. And specifically during the holiday season, I would look around and my friends are saying, oh, we are going to spend Christmas with our family, with my dad and mom. I would remember that the last Christmas I spent it with my mother-in-law, and she was no longer there. I actually dreaded going to celebrate Christmas in Shags that first Christmas. And the truth of the matter is, it's the first of everything. The first year and the first of every event, of every function, everything that is happening for the first time without this person is really hard, because you have to learn how to do it without them. For me, it was heart-wrenching. My Christmas was normally spent with my in-laws, and this time I was going for Christmas to a grave. I have never been to the home without her.
Yeah, so you didn't even know, what do we do this
What do we
Christmas?
do? I mean,
are we cooking chapati? Are we celebrating?
who are we cooking for even? You know.
Who are the kids running to? What's going on?
Grief during the festive season is very difficult, and especially because we are not made to believe that grief and joy can coexist.
It's another thing.
I think that if I am celebrating Christmas and I'm happy, then it means I have forgotten them.
Yeah.
But is that the reality really? I feel like grief and joy are emotions that can sit on the same table.
Yeah.
And the best thing is to let yourself be. Let yourself be. Flow with your emotions. If I feel like bawling my eyes out today because I miss my dad, I want him to call me on my birthday, and he's not calling me. He used to send me money on my birthday to buy lunch. He's not there. I'll cry.
Yeah.
The next day I'll probably remember, oh, he sent me money. That was such a nice thing to do. And I'll feel joy. So it is okay for the two emotions to coexist.
Yeah.
And flow with it.
As they coexist, there's something I felt burdened for me, especially last Christmas, because it was my last Christmas. Oh God, don't cry.
It's okay.
Let me breathe. It was
flow.
My first Christmas without my mom, which was like the final blow. God, I'm crying again. I'm sorry. There's the need to. It's Christmas. You should be happy. You should be grateful. It's always the season for okay. Like, why would you dare bring your emotions here? It's the season to be grateful, to be happy. Did you feel that need to be happy? Even when you didn't, like, the people around you are all happy.
Happy, yeah.
You can't just start.
You don't want to be the party pooper. It's normal. Because again, how do I celebrate Christmas? How do I become joyful when you're not here?
Yeah.
How is it possible?
Yeah.
How is it possible? What I say about, or what grief has taught me, is that you cannot shove it down, and you need to have strategies around it. For example, I would say you don't have to attend every function. You don't have to go for that Christmas party if you're not up to it. You don't have to. If you know for sure today is Christmas Day, all I need is my Christmas pajamas and a photo album with my mom, with my dad in it, and I sit and cry, it's okay. It's okay. And it is unfortunate that the world moves on
so fast.
So fast.
People forget.
You feel like you've been left alone in this hole, in this dark, dark place. You feel like everyone, after the funeral, a few calls, a few text messages. By the time it's Christmas, everyone has moved on. Everyone has moved on. Everyone expects that it's Christmas time. Anita should be happy. I mean, let's go party.
Yeah. Because I remember, like, for me last Christmas, I spent the whole day cleaning. Because it was my mom's favorite thing to do. It's so weird. Moms and cleaning. They're always cleaning. So I remember I didn't even take time. I don't think I even came out for breakfast. Because we are at home. I have my own house. So I'm with my in-laws. So I just cleaned the whole day.
And that's another thing, I think. Do something that honors them.
Yeah.
It feels you are the only person who would understand why you did what you did and how much joy or relief it gave you and what that means to you. And it is okay to build new traditions around the festive season.
But don't you feel like we are leaving them out when we build new? Because I remember actually for me one of the hardest days was getting into the new year. God, I'm sorry, because I felt like I'm leaving her behind. Like, it was easy to say, my mom just passed on in August, but now it's harder to say, my mom passed
last year.
The year before. I'm sorry. So did you? Sorry, I told you guys this is an episode where we are crying. And I'm sorry, I don't think they've ever seen me cry. I'm always jolly bubbly. Did you feel like, because when we are creating you, how do we take the family photo without you? How do we say, oh, no, our new tradition will be, we're now going to the host?
I think with grief, no pressure. You don't have to create the new tradition if you're not ready. You don't have to take those family photos if you're not ready.
Yeah.
I think the thing about grief, and my analogy about grief is this. Imagine this, you have just joined the gym.
Yeah.
And you have started weightlifting.
Yeah, you're building muscle.
And you start with 10 kgs and this is your first time in the gym. That 10 kgs is heavy. It is heavy.
Yeah.
But every other day, as you continue going to the gym, the weight doesn't change, but you become stronger. So these 10 kgs will feel lighter. And this is the thing about grief and why we should not rush it. Is because with time, we find ways, strategies around our grief, such that the grief doesn't leave us, but we become stronger and we know how to cope with it better.
Yeah.
And there's no timeline. There's no timeline. You might find that you will never be able to celebrate Christmas, which is fine. Yeah. Imagine someone who lost a loved one on the 25th of December. And you're telling this person, build new traditions.
Yeah. It's not fair.
So for grief, how I handle it and how you handle it is very individual.
Yeah. Like I'm crying
what works? Yeah, what works for me might not work for you.
For you.
So even with all the strategies that we talk about, not everything will work for you. building new tradition might not work for you, but there's someone who will feel that building a new tradition around what my loved one taught me or what we had been doing is honoring them. There's someone who will feel I am leaving them out. But for sure, it is very individual. Do what works for you.
And can joy and the grief now exist?
I have said it.
We are here 1 minute, we are yay, and the next minute I can't yay anymore.
Here we are. A few minutes ago, we were just talking about life and laughing. And suddenly we bring up our loved ones who died and it's not the same. Grief and joy can coexist. And it's important to give yourself compassion. Self-compassion is important to realize that when I am joyful, does not mean that I have forgotten you.
Yeah.
It is part of life. There are moments that will bring me joy. There are moments that will make me feel so guilty that I'm even enjoying this meal and you're not here.
And it's cooked just the way you like it.
I know.
And there are those triggers as well. It can be a smell of mandazi on Christmas, chapati.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, we used to do this. Especially, like, I don't know why Christmas in particular has so many triggers. You can be like, I'm okay. Imagine I'm fine. Then you get home and then you realize, what?
I was listening to a book called It's Okay Not to Be Okay. And the author, I forget her name. Oh God.
It's okay.
Talks about grief landmines. And I think Christmas is one of those things where everything reminds you of your loved one. Every single thing. That chapati smell.
Yeah.
And it's weird how there are actually physical triggers of grief.
Really?
Physical, like, I'll give an example. The first time, I think a few months after my dad passed on, I was driving down the road that was leading to the hospital where he died. And I was in my car. And the moment I hit the roundabout that was joining the road going to the hospital, I started wailing alone in the car. That road itself just reminded me my father is no longer here. It reminded me of the day I drove along that road to go and receive the news that he's died. So grief has landmines, and and the thing with landmines, you don't know where they are.
Yeah.
My friend called Nyawira. Hi, Nyawira.
Yeah.
Gave me a story about how one time she was in the supermarket at Quickmart and she had a song and it reminded her of her mother. And she started crying in the supermarket. So grief has landmines. It could be the soap they used. It could be their favorite food. It could be the season they enjoyed most. Grief has landmines. And unfortunately, with landmines, you don't know where it will be or what it will be. Again, self-compassion. If it comes, it comes.
I want to talk about another type of grief, which I think I went through. I don't know if you've had or you've experienced it. Is when you have someone with a terminal illness and you don't know the time. Have you ever had, because I know you're into psychology, have you ever had someone come and tell you, I'm grieving this person and they're still alive?
Anticipatory grief.
I didn't know the name for that. I didn't even know it had a name.
It has a name. It has a name. It's called anticipatory grief. Is where you know for sure the day is coming when this person will not be here. You don't know the day, but you know it's coming. And you start grieving that person while they're still alive. And this happens, as you said, mostly with people with terminal illnesses. Some people, when the doctor has said, you know what, now just palliative care, There's nothing much you can do. And you start even imagining, how will your funeral be?
Yeah.
So there is anticipatory grief. It's very real. And we don't talk about it. You see, you knew about it, but you didn't even know it has a name.
Yeah.
It has a name, and it is real. And it is grief, just like grief when the person has died.
And does it make the actual grief easier?
Nothing makes
Nothing
grief
makes
easier.
grief easier. Because, like,
Nothing makes.
yeah.
In fact, I remember another platitude. Time heals. Oh my
Time-
goodness. It's been 5 years, guys.
We are here crying like it happened this morning.
Time heals.
Hey, time heals. Where? Tunaingoja
You
to
know,
heal.
I kept asking, how much time? I mean,
Do we
guys, you
need-
need to tell me. I mean, how many years, how many months? Time heals.
Yeah.
Again, go back to my gym analogy.
Yeah.
You get stronger around your grief. You
Around
find coping mechanisms. You find strategies around your grief. But it remains with you.
Mhm.
It is as heavy as the 10 kgs as it was the first
This
day.
time. Yeah. I had someone say, but even whatever you do, you can't bring them back. That's when I realized that person has never walked.
I stopped getting upset with such comments because I realized I might have been that person before.
Yeah.
I might have been that person who has to say something to make the grieving person feel better without realizing that it really doesn't make them feel better.
Mm-hmm. And again, the other analogy I would want you to, once you've gone through grief, does it make the next one easier? Like, you lost your dad, your grandma, your mom-in-law in 1 month. Like, the first time it happened, when you're like, okay, it's my dad, I have cried, none of that after this will put me down.
Okay.
Then I'm assuming 2 days later,
Well,
does it make you stronger? Because that's the word people use, and I hate. I said, if you ever call me strong again,
I don't want to be strong.
you and your village people.
The truth?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing makes it easier. Maybe, let me just give a snippet of
Yeah.
my story.
Yeah.
My mom-in-law was the first person I lost in adulthood to death. It was my first ever death as an adult. And what I didn't know is the pain of grief. And many people talk about their mother-in-laws like...
Yeah, in a very bad light.
Mine
Mine too.
was an
She was
angel.
really great. Yeah.
Was an angel. And she loved me. And the day she passed on, I could not imagine my life without her. I couldn't imagine my life without her. And I remember my dad called me because he knew how I loved her and told me, you know, she's gone. We need to find a way to let her go. And I was so upset.
Yeah, what do you mean? And they say
so
that a lot
upset.
in funerals.
And
You
this
need to
was my
find a way
father,
to
and I
let her-
know my father loves me. He
Yeah.
wants the best for me. So he was not saying it from a bad place. And the loss of my mother-in-law made me realize that death can be crippling in all ways. 3 weeks later, my father died. 3 weeks later, my father died. And this was a death that broke my heart into smithereens. I am a daddy's girl to this day.
Clearly.
However, I thought I had felt pain of losing my mom-in-law. But somehow, when my father died, I did not understand what this was. Actually a physical pain. I could feel my heart ache. So that death had a different kind of pain.
Yeah.
But also, I had the guilt of, why am I crying for my father? And I've not finished crying for my mom-in-law. So I had that. It was very conflicting. A day after my dad's funeral, my grandma died in her sleep. And my love for my grandmother was like none other. We shared a bond. It was named after her.
Yeah.
We shared a bond that was like no other. And this time, when I got the news, I remember my brother called me. And this is how he broke the news to me. He told me, hi, has mom called you? I was like, yes, I spoke to her. Has she told you anything? I'm like, we spoke.
Yeah.
And he says, about Shosho. What about Shosho? And he tells me, in these exact words, I'll never forget, ni kama ametuacha.
Ni kama. But why do they say ni kama ametuacha?
Again, no one teaches us.
Yeah.
So I love my brother with all my heart, but I'll never forget. It's actually hilarious when I think about it, because he actually didn't know what to tell me, and he knew how close I was to my grandmother. And at this time, I've just lost my mom in love. I've lost my dad. Everyone thought I'm going to die next, because these are three people who are very close to me. And what was strange now, you asked whether the grief is different or it becomes stronger, is that I didn't cry. I didn't cry when he told me my grandmother has. In fact, when he says in kama ametuacha, I think I asked him ameenda wapi, because I could not process that this is another death so soon. And the funeral happened. In fact, because my aunties had all gotten into shock, I took charge, organized the funeral. I did not shed a tear. And that's when I started going for therapy, I discovered something very interesting about the brain. The brain is very protective of itself. The brain knows how to protect itself from things that are going to hurt it. So when my grandmother died, my brain had experienced so much pain that I couldn't experience pain anymore. So I did not process her death. I did not shed a tear. And I was guilty. I remember asking my therapist, why am I not crying for her? And she told me, your brain is protecting itself from crashing. You can't handle more pain. It took me 15 months to shed a tear for my grandmother. And it is so weird that when you cry, you know who you're crying for.
Yeah.
It is so weird. It took me 15 months to shed a tear. So grief, you never get stronger. You experience the death of a loved one different every single time. It's a different experience. You might even think you now, at that point, I actually thought of starting a funeral planning company.
Because like, what the hell?
I mean, I had planned so many. I've been into
how do you
committees.
Know? How do you know?
I mean, I have an Excel. I just change the name. We proceed.
Like, ishafika point someone calls you. Sasa mtoto ameenda mwambia awe relax. Ako wapi? Aya, next funeral ni hii. Niko na namba yule mtu wa morgue na niko na namba ya mtu wa casket. Wewe nakuzia 30k, niko na 25. It's such a sad.
That is the reality. Though
I'm so sorry.
That's the reality of
I don't know what you've said just reminded me when my story, me nitapana too short. I lost my mother-in-law December 2020, right before Christmas. Now I'm really feeling for my husband and his siblings how they felt that Christmas, because I did not understand at that time. 3 months later, my grandma dies. Now, because we had already gone through that, and I remember my husband was the one planning this funeral, I still don't understand how he did it. 2 years later, my grandfather dies, and I think 9 months later, my mom dies. Now, I remember when my grandmother died, I also didn't cry. I don't know why I didn't cry that much. I don't know why I didn't cry. Then I was taking my grandfather for a checkup because he had, what did he have? Oh, I've forgotten what he had. Diabetes, not kidney failure.
Mm-hmm.
So I've gone through the whole thing. I've had diabetes, cancer. So I'm trying to assign who had
what.
I'm sorry. Yeah, so then we were just seated waiting for the doctor. Si kuna kwanga na daktari pale, you're waiting for the doctor. Then this lady, she had come with her child and her friend. She sat there, she was like, guys, I'm really hungry. Because there was a cafeteria hapo. Akasema, let me go eat some chips na mtoto. They went, ate chips. Then as they are finishing, she comes back. I remember, I think we were seated, like a meter from us. She falls down and she dies.
What?
She died. Like, you know how you see in movies, how when someone is being resuscitated and all that, I've never seen, like, huyo msichana, hakuna kitu hakufanyiwa. Like, hiyo ndio siku nilijua, when doctors are actually going to save your life, they literally,
they do
the
all
whole
they can.
hospital came to a standstill, and that lady died. My dear Sinirilia. Sinirilia. And I didn't know
stranger.
I have never met her, but now I just felt that is the time I cried for my grandpa. Like, God.
No,
I cried.
That's a landmine. You were not crying for her.
Like, I was okay. I was like, ni sawa, it's okay.
It's nice.
Now by the time my grandfather died, then I was like, you know what, it's okay. Then my mom, I don't know how to explain. I don't know if you experienced this, but I remember, because I know when they called me, I used to stay with her every day. Then I would just go in the morning with my daughter. My mom was diagnosed with cancer when my daughter was 7 weeks old. So the whole year I was a daktari alishaniambia, so I knew. So then they called me, Anita, it's like your mother's situation has changed. So I just knew she had passed. I don't know if they called you. Me, I was called. Nikajua too. Because I usually go to the hospital. They expect me at the hospital every day. I was like 20 minutes late, I think.
Why you calling me?
Which makes me wonder,
now?
why didn't mom wait for me? It's like she didn't want. Anyway. So I get there. Then when they give you the news, I don't know how your body, because you're talking about the physical.
Yeah.
I feel. I used to think, because with all the deaths before, I didn't cry like that. I used to think, like utalia too, because I would cry in my private time.
Yeah.
I wailed. My sister. I used to think people who do that are not
okay.
Because it's like, how unini can you be?
You're being uncultured.
Because I was in that hospital. I was at Nairobi Hospital for a whole year, in and out. And I would see people die. And I would hear them cry, and I'm like, Timu accept too. And remember, I'm a person who is grieving.
Yeah.
But when I was told, I remember, I fell to the ground. And I'm a clean freakish. I'm untidy, but I'm very clean freakish. So the hospital floor would be the last place
you'd want
my sane mind would put me. Anyway, how grief comes physically is very interesting. And I don't think you can control it. You can have a panic attack. Anyway,
you can't. For me, oh yes, I was called.
You were called as well.
I still don't understand. God works in mysterious ways. For some reason, they called my number instead of my mom's number. But that was a blessing in disguise because my mom was not around.
Yeah.
So when I was told, come to hospital, and it was at night, and I had just left the hospital.
You're like, I was just here.
And before I left, the nurse had told me, if you have a patient in ICU, as long as you've not been called to come to hospital,
you're
just sleep easy.
Yeah.
And then 30 minutes later, you're actually calling me. I remember my husband took me to hospital, and in the car, I kept telling him, I know he's not there. And remember, he had just lost his mom. And he kept telling me, stop saying that. I don't even think he remembers. No, it can't be. And I'm like, please accept. It is what it is.
But
like, you somehow know. And when we got to the hospital and the doctor came and he was trying to, we tried. I just asked him at what time did he die. And I was actually at the hospital reception when my father died. But I didn't know. But this, and I keep saying this is the bond I had with my dad. At the exact time my father died, because I was seated at the reception waiting for a nurse to come and update me about his condition, because we couldn't go to the wards at that point, because it was during COVID time. At that exact time when I looked at my phone logs later, at the exact time the doctor said my dad had died, I had called my husband and told him, these guys have kept me waiting here for so long. I don't feel right. At that exact minute when he was dying. And when I got home, it was at night. I couldn't call my mother. I couldn't call my brother, because I did not want them to start driving around like mad people. And if I cannot tell my mother and my brother, I cannot tell anyone else, because I do not know who is going to tell them.
Yeah.
And this is the thing about grief. Sometimes you look back and you wonder, how did I think about that at that point? Yeah. You know, it's interesting how God gives you so much strength, so much grace to do things that you never imagined you could do. And the news was, we were given the news at 10:30 p.m. and we went back home, and I couldn't sleep. I couldn't cry. Now I was the opposite. Yeah. When the doctor said your father has passed on, I didn't cry, I didn't wail. I asked him, so how much bill do I need to pay? What do we need to do? Where do we need to move him? He told me, cry if you have to. I said, I don't have tears.
Yeah.
I just tell me what I need to do. He told me, go home, come back tomorrow. And when I got home, as I was saying, at around 11, I stayed awake. I couldn't cry. I couldn't call anyone. I couldn't tell anyone. I remember I called my friend Kate. She didn't pick her call. That is at 1:30. Yeah. I have walked around the house. I don't know. I can't breathe. Yeah. I don't understand how I'm feeling. I called her. She didn't pick. I called her again. She didn't pick. I decided, why are you ignoring my call? I called her husband, and for some reason, he gave her the phone and she picked. And the moment Kate picked that call is the first time I cried. And I cried with a pain that I will never forget. There was a pain, a physical pain in my chest. When they say that it's a heartache, it's an actual heartache. I will never forget that pain. When I cried the first time, when Kate picked that call and I told her, my dad, I could not even complain. Yeah. I don't know, is he dead? Is he gone? What do I say? And
it's hard to
I felt a heartache, a literal heartache that I can tell you. So for me, that was my first experience with grief as an actual pain. I felt a heart pain.
Yeah, it is. I'm so sorry.
You live with it.
You live with it. You try to live
with it.
Because I think the whole point is actually when you start telling people, it's so hard to admit. It's so hard to admit that, you know what, my dad has what?
Has what?
Has what?
Has what? I remember reading the obituary, the life eulogy of my grandmother. And it said, mother-in-law too. I read the first one. And the second one was the late Paul. I could not read that word.
God, I can't.
Late, where? I mean, you're early. You went. You're early.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're early. You went.
You're early wherever you went. I mean, so.
I'm sorry. That's a dark joke, girl. That's a dark joke.
I'm sorry. But I don't understand. That is one thing I have never, even when I look at the funeral program of my dad, there is nowhere he was referred to as the late.
Even me, that's the one thing I was like, on my mother's, I don't care. And we are talking about her in present. I actually think I told Eti, she like, I didn't like
she
the
is,
way is
not was.
Is the because you the late
was. What do you mean was? I mean, why are you cutting her off life like that?
I mean,
it's the reality. Shubali. They're late. I mean, uko late wapi?
Grief is interesting. Like 1 minute you're laughing about it, 1 minute you're
I know. You were just bawling your eyes out right now. Here you are. And that's the reality of grief, actually.
And we have to thank God for our friends and
True.
everyone who stood by us and everyone who has gone ahead of us. Because I'm telling you right now, if someone tells me their mom has passed, or anyone, okay, I say the mom because I think that's the one that hit me the hardest. Like, I will take my time with you. I will sit with you. I don't have a dad. So I lost, when I say I lost everything, I lost everything.
True.
Kama sahi mimi sina ushago. Because sina grandparents, sina parents. It's just me and my sister. And when I start crying, I think, now imagine my sister who lost her mom at 18. Anyway, I was talking about our friends. Dark joke. So I have a group of friends. So when my mom died, they came because, unluckily for us, most of us don't have parents and dads. So they're like, Anita, welcome to the orphan committee. You are a lifetime member.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Lord, it's lifetime for
sorry.
real.
Like, it was so, because sometimes you have to find, like, the joy, the pockets of, you have to make fun. Because tukilia tutalia.
Masaa ya kulia tunalia, ya kucheka tunacheka.
And I laughed. I think that was the first time I laughed. It was the same day my mom died. I think it hit them so hard. They walikuja jioni. And they told me that and I laughed. Aki nilicheka. I was like, guys, yani mmekaa tu mkafikiria, welcome to the orphan community. We are here. Anyway, we thank God for our friends. And if you have a person who's grieving, especially this Christmas, Aki, just be kind.
Yeah.
Okay, general. Just be kind to them.
Just be kind. Just be kind. And support system. Oh my goodness. Cannot talk enough about that.
Yeah, you know.
My friends, my family, my in-laws, those people were there. You know. I mean, my brother would call me at night and tell me, that doctor. And he would preach.
The doctors.
It's such, there is no formula to it.
Yeah,
but support system is quite important. And if you have a friend, a relative who is grieving, be kind to them. Help them in physical ways. I have someone who went and shopped for my house. Nyawera, again, hi. Thank you.
Nyawera na Kate. Ama Kate is Nyawera.
Kate, no, they're different.
Oh, hey, Aki, you guys, can I give you my number? Yeah, that's so nice.
Shopped, and again, this is the thing. When you experience grief, it makes you different. It makes you learn things that you need to do. Nyawera had lost her mom earlier on. And the intention she had in helping me grieve was out of this world. And that is the thing. Once you experience it, you really want to make it easier for someone else.
You know?
But I wish we could not have to experience grief for us to know what to do.
Yeah.
And I think this is the point where we have these rare conversations.
Yeah.
These conversations that no one talks about. So that you do not have to experience grief to know that you don't have to ask me what I'll do, what you need to do for me. Just go. Buy milk for my children because you know I'm in the morgue.
Yeah.
You know, do something.
Yeah.
You don't have to come to my house and wash utensils because I have visitors.
No, you've talked about, like I've said, my mom was diagnosed with terminal cancer and my baby was 7 weeks.
Yeah.
My friends will take turn to babysit my baby. I don't think, tena nalia. But just being there for someone in those in conventional, like I don't have to tell you, you can see we have children, they need to eat.
Exactly.
You can see, maybe fuel my, like you can see I'm making trips every day. That is the way you can support someone.
That is actually the most important thing. Be there for that person in ways that words cannot explain. Be in my house to welcome the guests because you know I am tired. Go with your friend. I read somewhere someone said their friend, when her husband died, their friend took them to a mountaintop and told them this is the nearest you can be to them.
Aww.
Talk to them.
Oh,
You know,
what?
I mean,
Okay, that's sweet.
yeah, I know. Huh? So for grief and for us to support people who are grieving, I think the best thing is to be there for them in ways that words cannot say. Don't tell me time will heal.
Yeah.
I mean, come sit with me when I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
Someone else said that they asked their friend, so what do you want me to do for you? And the friend says, I just want to be alone.
Yeah.
And she took her, drove her to a hotel, booked for her a room or something, and told her, I am at the parking. Go to the room, do what you need to do. Be there for someone in ways that they will just experience. No, but it's
so
it's
nice,
something that is it's the normal thing I would do for you when you have a wedding. Why
Yeah.
not do it
Yeah,
for me when I'm
yeah.
grieving? You know, when I have a wedding, you will go and help me plan the wedding. Why not go buy my father flowers? And and this is I appreciate my friends without even naming them with their names. Everyone who was there, I remember my dad's funeral was organized the same day he died. Everyone took responsibilities. My brother said, I am doing this. Leave it to me. My other friend said, I am doing this. One said, I'm going to buy flowers. I'm going to look for it. I mean, everyone took a responsibility. And that way, for me, the burden was easier. I didn't have to keep calling the videographer. Oh, nimeambiwa, what's the... No. Someone has already done that. Practical ways to support someone who is grieving.
I need to shout out to someone. You just say that. And I've remembered. All through my mom's treatment, I was very kichwangu with being helped. Which I don't know, maybe I was coping or something. The day my mom died, a friend walked in. I remember the bill was 800 and something. You know, this person paid 800 and something thousand, almost 900k. Na hakuwa niomba hata shilingi. Kai, aki nakuja kukupikia chapo. Mungu akubless. Kitu nilifanya usiku Mungu akubless. Okay, not just financial, but being there for someone. I think the other day I was trying to figure out what my love language is. Maybe it's just not having to ask. Especially in those seasons. You just need someone. Do something. I am here. I need water. Give me what I drink. Stop.
Yeah.
Thank you. You need
practical ways.
Not just saying,
is my burden.
It is kwanza watu wa kuongea. Imagine by them mtu akigrieve sometimes hatutaki kuongea. Some mnatuambia nini? Oh, she's in a better place. She's in heaven. Ulienda huko.
Do you know where that is? My mom keeps asking me, no one has ever come back to tell us where they went to. So how do we know where they are? And
I would advise after the funeral, please stay with someone. See, funeral happens, then everyone just goes away.
Yeah.
That's when the real grief starts.
That is when it hits you. Oh my God, the world moves on so fast. So fast. And your relationships change, actually.
Yeah, they do.
Your relationships change with grief. You will never forget the people who supported you. You will also never forget the people who did not. Yeah. It's unfortunate.
It is not our mark. Sorry, I don't know.
No, again, as I keep saying, no one teaches us these things. Grief is not a common course in university, in high school. It should be, actually.
It should be. And I remember telling my reverend after now, I don't even know death number what. Now washazoea kwako mpaka hata unajua the first time, tunakuja estate number. The second and the third, ding dong, we are here because we're so used. And I hate that. No one should be used to grief. I don't like that. Yeah. Where was I going with this? My mind was just going.
You were telling your reverend.
I was telling my reverend. You see, the way we do premarital classes, there should be a whole unit on grief. Okay. Because once your partner goes through grief, that is not the same person. How you talk to them, how you handle them, it is not the same person. And you don't know who this... we talk about finances, we talk about sex, we talk about all those things. But we should really... Because me, 4 months after getting married, we lost my mother-in-law. Kuna tu vinye, you're not the same person.
You're very right, actually. Something that we do not acknowledge about death is that you not only lose the person, you also lose the person, yourself as a person you were when they were there. You become a totally different person. And I hate to imagine, and I'm not saying it in a bad way, but going through grief, for example, with a partner, like I don't think how I don't imagine I would have been able to support my husband or him to support me if we had both not experienced grief. It is different. We would have, yes, but it is very different. It's very different to look at Anita and say, and she does not have to tell me I need a hug today. Or I'm going through. I remember my husband would come sometimes and tell me, just come.
Just come. And you actually needed it, or he needed it.
Either he needs it or I need it. I mean, let's just hug. And sometimes we'll just cry. Or sometimes you're just there talking about your parents, Oh, wakokoju wanacheka. They're stories,
We have this analogy with my sister that every time, because my mom-in-law died before I think I was pregnant. No. So my mom-in-law went first. Then my grandma, si wakafika wakaanza story. Then by the time my grandfather comes, they're telling, anamwambia, by the way, wako na mimba. Like, you can imagine now they are receiving the news. Then my mom reaches, they gave birth to a bouncing baby girl. Like, I can imagine the joy they are having. Okay, sijui again.
See again. You are here telling people that they should not tell you they went to heaven.
You are talking about heaven. I will tell myself. I will analyze my pain level that day. But anyway, it's sometimes these are the things we do to cope with grief.
True.
Because ukianza kufikiria, you can run mad.
Oh yes. And I'm sure people have run mad because of grief. I am sure, because for me, it got to a point I remember this is the first time I had a conversation with God, like, please sit. We need to talk about this.
Talk about.
Sit. We need to talk about this. I mean, I am tired of people dying. After my grandma died, I had a conversation with God and I told him, you know what? Enough is enough. You made me become a person who is now a master at funerals.
Like, how can you be this? Imagine?
You cannot do that to me. You gave me so many years without experiencing immediate grief. And then when you decide to hit me, it's one after another, after another, after another. And I think we have an agreement. He knows. We agreed. Yeah, we made an agreement.
As we are still not talking.
And that's the other thing.
We shall talk soon.
Actually, that is the other thing about grief. It changes even your religious perspective. Some people get close to God. Some people question and keep saying, oh, don't question God. The reality is very different from them. Very different. So embrace yourself where you are with your grieving journey. If you are at the point where you need to sit down and have conversations with God, please sit down and have conversations with Him. If you are at a point where you need to Google all the Bible verses about grief, do it. If you are at the point where let's not talk about it, let's not talk about it.
We'll get there one day.
We'll get there one day. One day that 10 kg weight will be 10 kgs, but you will lift it with a finger. I don't know when, because again, I don't know how much time heals. But someday, when you have enough strategies around, you will know how to walk the journey. I do not know yet. 5 years later.
Neither do I.
I
don't know if we'll ever know. But anyway, it's crazy. It's crazy. And as we wind up, because this felt like a hug to me, I don't think I've ever fully talked about grief like this on the show. To that person who's probably new to grief, this Christmas season, what would you tell them?
I'll tell them, give yourself grace and self-compassion. Find an escape. If you decide that I am not attending any Christmas parties, do what you gotta do to survive this period. This is the hardest period, I think.
And it's global. It's because everyone is in matching PJs.
Everyone is happy, smiling.
From mine to yours. Mine to whose?
Where is mine?
Whose?
Where is mine?
Okay.
As in, give yourself grace. Do what you gotta do. Because there is no formula. I am not what is it called? An expert in grief. But I have gone through it.
So there's that other thing. Once you go through it, now people come to you. You've not had that. Now they're coming to you. Sasa ulifanyaje? Or the other one. I've really now remember this. When someone meets you, that's the first thing they relate to you. Aki, I was with my friend, her mother died. I was with my cousin, the brother died. Like they feel, I don't know if they feel comfortable. I'm like, why are you telling me that? How is that improving my socioeconomic life? Anyway, I don't understand. Like you said, no one taught us, and no one means. Let's just.
That's why we need to have these conversations. As much as we are crying, as we are talking about it, you never know who has listened to it and realized I am not alone. Because there is also the universality of a problem. When I realize that I'm not the only person going through this, it does not make it easy, but it makes it lighter.
Anyway, Christine, thank you so much for coming to my show.
Thank you for having me.
The second time running. And tumetoka tu kusema platitudes na niko hapa tena nasema I'm very sorry for what happened. And that's it. And thank you for coming and talking about it and sharing about it and helping me share. I think this is the first time, like I said, I've talked loud about this. And I didn't know. You just mentioned a therapist. I think I need one to see one is happy.
Yeah, actually, that's the other thing. Therapy helps.
It helps.
Not because I'm a psychologist.
Maybe.
But in reality, for me, that's actually therapy during grief was what made me sane.
Okay.
I would have lost it. It made me sane. Okay. So there's help, guys. There's help. There's help out there. Please seek help. Do not die alone in your grief. People stay in their houses for months on months, and no one realizes that this person does not want to go out, and people tell to meet people who have their father and their father is not there. There is help. And therapy is just not talking. There are strategies taught in therapy for you to handle grief. Okay. It's just not talk therapy. Talk therapy, of course, it's part of it. And I remember at the beginning, I really asked you, are you ready? Do you want to have this conversation?
I did well, didn't I?
You did well.
Tried.
No. It is important to have the conversation. Sometimes we are not ready, but I am so proud of you that you decided that we need to have this conversation. People need to hear about these things, whether I am crying or not. It is a point of you became the sacrificial lamb. Someone else will learn from you crying.
Now you make me cry all over again. Happy tears though. This time.
So thank you for having the hard conversation.
Okay, thank you guys. And that's it. Until next time, it's Christine and Anita. Bye.